Nortia Province. Are we going to learn what happened to Cedric's outing? The Courageous. Yep, there's the main campus. Did Ouroboros even send anyone to fight them at all? I bet they did nothing but fight Shining Palms. Just so they can catch up to us who have been more field exercises. Hugo's here. And Victor seems to be in charge of them.
We are now over the western part of the Isengard mountain range. Estimated arrival in Heimdallr is 1410.
Maintain current course and speed. Once we reach Ulster, adjust course to run parallel to the railroad.
Aye, aye, Captain.
You have my thanks, Your Grace. Your assistance this past week has been invaluable.
Think nothing of it. This is the Crimson Wing's job, after all. I've no doubt your first bout of field exercises in North Ambria saw you even busier than I. It is I who should be thanking you for your hard work.
To be honest, I'm having a difficult time deciding how to proceed as a teacher.
Perhaps that is a sign of General Craig's influence. I would advise you to follow your own convictions for the time being. That way, you may...
Ah, instructor. There you are.
Cadet Arner.
Greetings, my lord.
Seeing it up close, the Courageous is truly amazing. And though it was barely used during the Civil War, its main cannon is certainly impressive as well. Perhaps we should consider deploying a number of cruisers to match our fleet of battleships.
Cadet.
It is true that during an emergency, such power may prove beneficial. Learning when to use one's power and when to refrain is an important lesson. If that is the lesson your field exercises have taught you, then I'd say it is safe to declare them a success.
Yes, of course. My thanks, Captain Arseid. I look forward to seeing you again. I wish you luck patrolling the summer festival alongside my older brother.
Aren't these the dungeons where we fought that giant skeleton dragon? What happened to those people? Why did they turn all transparent like those divine knights we've seen so far?
Damn it! How many times have they slipped away like that now? There's no end to it!
They must be luring you into a trap.
We need help from the Intelligence Division or the RMP.
Man, it'd be nice if all we had to deal with are those half-wits. But we can't afford to let our guard down. Spread out and lay low until the appointed time. Be sure you've got your ramdas ready to use.
Roger. Recommencing mission.
Pleroma?
Red flowers?
That means they're gonna get eaten by a cryptid.
I don't think so.
Or not.
There's no end to them. The eyes which served as the vessel for the bringer of miracles. But when the flame consumed the mirage, the fairy tale became that of the Empire.
So in other words, Kia's old powers might have gone to something else.
So as a professional, how do you intend to intervene?
Oh, was I that obvious? To be perfectly honest, I'm having a bit of trouble finding a lead. I was hoping we could work together as friends and colleagues and have ourselves a little information exchange.
That would be a very odd alliance, considering Thomas is with the Grolsritter.
I could even help you bury the hatchet with the elder of your clan, perhaps?
That's right. You have an agreement with her, don't you? Well, I'll consider your offer. However, I ask that you play nice from now on, Mr. Former History Instructor. Or should I say, Second Dominion Thomas Lysander the Partitioner. I would not have expected that Olivert would be missing the party like this.
It is unfortunate, yet understandable, given the current situation. With the Crimson Wings safeguarding Heimdall's skies, I'm sure the citizens will feel at ease.
Yes, but I can't help but feel bad for him. I wonder if he's been upset over Cedric's actions of late.
Olivert isn't the type to let that get to him. You should know this as well as I.
No, you're right. He was only a young boy when he lost his mother and was adopted into the royal family. I would have understood if he hadn't accepted me, given his early life. But he gladly welcomed me as his stepmother, and was truly happy when Alphen and Cedric were born.
Yes, that is the virtue he possesses. It's easy to believe he has friends not simply across Erebonia, but the entire continent.
Yes. However, recently, even though Cedric once looked up to his older brother, he...
Pardon me, Your Highness. Chancellor Osborne would like an audience.
Very well. Send him in.
My apologies for interrupting, my liege. You as well, Lady Priscilla.
No. It's quite all right. I shall excuse myself now.
She seems to have some worries about the prince.
It is to be expected, so long as she sees things differently from you.
Understood.
In any event, it seems things are beginning to line up with what was written in the records.
Yes, though we set the timing for the Civil War ourselves. By this point, however, the ending is all but decided.
Set the timing of the Civil War. So, the Emperor really is in cahoots with him.
But are you certain this is all right? Leaving everything in my hands?
As I told you 14 years ago, if there truly is no other way to avoid this end, then I shall leave it all to you. It may place a great burden on my sons, but could not the same be said of you?
Yes, my liege.
That's our next field exercise. The 4th of July. With July, summer was in full swing in leaves. Guess that means everyone will change to their summer uniforms? Oh, no, they don't. However, with Force moved back to being a traditional military academy, no summer uniforms were given out. Students at both the main and branch campuses were only allowed to remove their inner lining from their normal uniforms. As students across both campuses were wilting under the sun's harsh ray, a certain event was about to take place that would bring them all together. Fourth period Erebonian history. Up till now, we've covered an overview of the time period from the Great Collapse to the modern era. But starting this week, we'll be taking a more in-depth look at certain key individuals. We'll start with Dreikel's race Arnor, father of the Imperial Renaissance. 250 years ago, he brought the War of the Lions to a close, ushering us in the modern era. Though he was born as the third prince of the Emperor Valius V, who was born out of wedlock and ended up abdicating his status and wandering the Empire. He found himself at the edge of the Empire, the Nord Highlands. There he was welcomed by the nomadic tribes and spent a few years with them. Meanwhile, the Empire's mainland had been plunged into a bloody civil war. Originally, he had no interest in the throne, but once he saw the toll the war was taking on his country, he decided to put an end to it. He started with only 17 followers, 16 Nord warriors who decided to join him, and his confidant, the Knight Roland. Half a year later, though, Prince Dreikel would have a fateful encounter in the southeast of the Empire, Legram. the daughter of a count and leader of the Eisenritter, Leanne Sandlot. The hero otherwise known as the Lance Maiden.
I have a question. Was that person you and the other instructors fought the real Saint Leanne?
Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing. Saint Leanne is a legendary knight. There's no way it was actually her, but I heard the fight was intense. Well, instructor?
Without a doubt. She was tremendously strong, and that aura of hers certainly seemed real. But it's possible one of Ouroboros' members is just posing as her. Let's put that aside for now, though.
Don't
be stingy!
By the way, 254 years ago, on July 4th, the War of the Lions came to an end. Now, keep in mind the test will cover the events from just before to just after the War of the Lions. So make sure to review that time period thoroughly. I hate to admit it, but he really is good at teaching. Well, to be fair, he himself was a student just last year. I heard his grades were pretty high too. Shish. See, he looked great in glasses too. Homeroom. Anyway, our 4 days of midterms will begin tomorrow. It's general studies, military science, arts, information processing, combat technique. There'll be a lot to cover, so good luck. Phew, you rattled those all off like it'll be easy. No way all that is going to be easy. I suppose we'll simply have to trust in everything we've learned thus far. But by the by, a little birdie told me the contents of our exams and the schedule matched out of the main campus. I wonder, will our grades be posted alongside theirs? Yes, and if Cedric wins, he's going to totally shit on us, right? That's right, both individual scores and class averages will be posted at both campuses. So it should be worth your time to study, wouldn't you agree? It's just so blatant. It's so blatant. So you're going to make us compete. And our little crown prince is going to be handed first place on a silver platter, yeah? I can totally see that happening. No, that won't happen. In the past, wars were split up into nobles and commoners, but grading has always been done fairly. The instructor I know at the main campus wouldn't let grades be tampered with like that. So at the very least, the exams will be a level playing field. If you say so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure back in Rean's year, I think Emma and Machias scored the highest and they were commoners. There will also be a little reward waiting for you guys once the exams are over, and it'll probably depend on their grades too, right? We'll have a free day this weekend to look forward to, so give the exams your all. I'll be giving the exams for Erebonian history and combat technique, so please ask me anything you're confused about before tomorrow. All preparations for the exams have been completed. Grades will be posted alongside the main campuses, but I don't expect there to be problems. Our curriculum should be in sync, next to the Orbital Net. It's great that we were able to work with the main campus instructors to come up with exam questions. All that's left is for the students themselves to show us what they've got. Jaeger Corps have been confirmed retreating from the Empire since last month's field exercises. And according to the Intelligence Division, it would appear the Society has withdrawn as well. Can't be the end of that, right? I see. Well, if that's true, it's great news, but maybe we can stop being fully clenched all the time now. Hell nah. It's the calm before the storm. We cannot let our guards down completely, but for the time being we can at least allow them to just be students. Take care not to discuss any information regarding exam questions, but feel free to clarify any questions the students have. Be a simple guiding hand in their studies. Looks like Big Bad Mr. Michael has really toned it down. He's always been very serious and responsible. But it seems like he's been thinking with the students in mind recently. Let's do our best to be as much help to the students as we can today. Right, we've still got some time before the school closes for the day. Very well. Well then, let's split up, gang. The exams will be held over the next 4 days, and then this Sunday is a free day. The location for our next field exercises will be announced too, so it's going to be a busy few days. Looks like everyone's working together to brush up on their weak subjects. I guess I'll make my rounds and talk to any students who look like they're having a tough time. Yeah, I gotta get everyone up to snuff if we want to beat the main campus. That aside. Ouroboros in the Black Workshop. I wonder if the principal and the professor know anything about them. Free day before the exam. Talk to specific characters today to trigger study events. The main story will progress after you've seen all the key events and use up all your studying points. Oh wow, that's a lot of thank you messages. How to put this without sounding silly? Thank you for such a nice present. It's such a beautiful and elegant design that I didn't even realize it was a pinky ring at first. I thought it was an engagement ring, which would have been fine by me, really. Just kidding, duh. Unless... Thanks a lot, Rean. I'll be sure to show it off on a special occasion. Damn, she really threw me for a second. Whatever, I'm just glad she likes it. What a bold boy you are. Sending a woman perfume, Master Rean? My, are you ever bold. And I happen to love the smell of roses. I'll be certain to wear this the next time I see you. I will, of course, be keeping this a secret from Lady Elisa, as should you. Maybe I push it if it's a gift we have to keep secret. Well, she clearly likes it. That's all that matters. I used the antique coffee grinder you sent me right away. In a word, it's incredible. There's this aged, profound flavor I've gotten with it that's like I've been sent back in time. A cup in the morning with it, and I'm good to work for the rest of the day. Come visit the Ost district when I'm home, and I'll brew you a cup. I know a coffee connoisseur like him would appreciate it. I'm already looking forward to that cup. Thanks to you. I tried that pure white soap you sent me, and the results were wonderful. Using it makes me feel as moisturized as when I bathe in the hot springs at home. Hey, I let you see for yourself if I could. Perhaps I'll have enough set aside for our next hot springs visit. I'm not sure about that. We're old enough that we shouldn't really be bathing together anymore. It's nice that she's already making use of the soap at least. It tasted divine. The Eastern tea you sent me was just delicious, Rean. I did have a difficult time bringing out its true essence, mine. Eastern and Western teas are prepared very differently, I've come to learn. I think you would be much better at it. I'd love it if you could teach me your ways. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that when they gave it to her. I like the idea of teaching her how to prepare it, though. They don't have instructions written on it. 3 study points. That's it. That's all I get. Looks like all students are studying hard. The scores will be ranked individually as well as by class. I wouldn't mind seeing our students do better than those of the main campus. Yeah, that'd be nice. But even Rean was unable to defeat Patrick in terms of test scores, only in swordsmanship. So I'm not sure my Class 7 will be able to overcome the new Class 1. The midterm exams are coming up. Everyone looks so serious. I've been giving out coffee and candy in the cafeteria, but even I'm starting to get nervous. I don't really think you have anything to worry about. By the way, you seem tired. Is everything okay? Don't worry, I'm fine. After all, I need to support everyone. Okay, but don't overdo it, alright? The Imperial Chronicle, Issue 7. On June 19th, the port city of Ordis was assaulted by a loud sound. The cannons. Giant pillar of water, and then the second roar sunk the freighters anchored in a bay. While no rounds fell in the city, harbor buildings and ships were heavily damaged. Balea Ray's lighthouse, a symbol of Ordis, was completely destroyed. Where did the bombardment come from? The source of the assault was thought to be the very new Dragonov-class railway cannons that were recently unveiled. The 4 weapons that were constructed in RF's western factory for the Imperial Army were stolen and attacked from the Valley region more than 500 cells away from Ordis. According to the Imperial Army, the new cannon's maximum range is 500 cells, which is unexpected proof it was those weapons that were used. At 9 o'clock on the same day, as shells rained down, the Union naval fortress near the port city was attacked suddenly and briefly occupied. The Unified Regions Army that was in charge of the fortress pushed through in a break from the railway gunfire from the valley. They said the fortress was occupied by a Jaeger Corps and an autonomous weapon group of unknown affiliation. They are assumed to be the same group that stole the railway cannons. There was an armored group with a second corps as well, so reports are conflicted. The port city and valley areas were surrounded by confusion, but the 4 railway cannons were recovered by the Unified Regions Army and those helping them by noon of the same day. Our companions recaptured a naval fortress, bringing the incident to a close. However, powers earned in the captured Jaeger Corps fled the area, and their location is still unknown. The Jaeger Corps are given over to the Imperial Army's Intelligence Division and have already had their identities discovered, but a well-informed source tells us they may not be revealed by order of the government. In any case, it appears to be clear that Marquess Ballad of Le Maire province was involved in both the theft of the railway cannons and the understaffing of the naval fortress, making a rare statement of impeachment likely to be handed down by the Imperial Provincial Council. Strange occurrences near Haliask. Also on June 19th, near Haliask in the North Ambria province, an underground autonomous weapons factory was discovered and seized and destroyed within the day. It was assumed to be a remnant of the international criminal organization from the Northern War last year. It is not thought to be directly related to the incident in Le Maire. In other words, that was done by Cedric. The incident was handled by Thor's Military Academy students who were training near Haliask. As the head cadet, Crown Prince Cedric made the decision, and finally, the factory was attacked by the Crimson Wings, totally destroying it and allaying any doubts. Local residents were temporarily evacuated, but His Highness's directions and care for the wounded were perfect. He's not your average student, says one classmate. Incidentally, students of the Academy's branch campus contributed to the handling of the incident in Le Maire, giving an additional sheen of pride to the Horned Lion crest. 1 month later than other areas of the Empire, the time for Heimdallr's Summer Festival is nearing. The event will be held July 17th through 19th this year, which is slightly short but will be full of celebrations and events like the Summer Festival concert, the summer races, and a special performance of the opera. The event stars in the ancient Zemurian civilization. Beginning on July 7th in the Laika district of Heimdallr, the Stars in the Ancient Zemurian Civilization exhibit will open at the museum. The event will last the entire month and many are expected to visit during the summer festival. The permanent exhibitions in the entrance hall are also said to be enjoyable. The curator reminds us to let your mind go back to the romance of ancient times. So the yellow ones are study events, huh? I don't know if Black Records 3 was read before. It's been too long since I read the CS2 versions of the books. Two shadows waver in the corner of a dark underground room. It is lit only by a small bonfire. I see. Do you feel an overwhelming presence, do you? A young maiden stood before the fire. The faint breeze passing through the underground blew her hair, giving it the appearance of a flowing stream of gold, contrasting with the massive silver lance she held in her arms. Oh, are you telling me you wish to turn back before we have even begun? If you are, then so be it. This is far beyond the power of mankind. A young blonde-haired woman with red eyes wielding a dimly shining staff answered in an antiquated tone. The maiden shook her head and urged the woman to open the door before her. It bore the crest of a cross surrounded by spirals. The maiden's name was Leanne Sandlot, the daughter of the Count of Lohengrin Castle in Legram. However, she would be remembered by history as the Lance Maiden. Raised in Legram, known for its masterful teachings of warfare, she displayed a skill in the art of battle far surpassing her age. At the young age of 15, she was already a match for the Castle Knights. Said to have godlike mastery of the lance on horseback, it wasn't long before she had completely surpassed the other knights in competitions, amassing a veritable mountain of laurels in the wards. The country was amazed by this young girl's incredible talent. The tale of the maiden who was stronger than the knights protecting her spread, and people began to flock to her. At age 16, she began hearing a voice in her head. The voice was austere yet magnanimous, and it told Leanne of the duty she had to fulfill and the destiny she had to accept. Naturally, Leanne was upset by this voice only she could hear. However, it wasn't long until she met its owner, a mysterious woman who called herself a witch. The witch spoke of an entity sealed far below the castle and of Leanne's duty to become its master. Its presence was overwhelming, and once claimed it would bring its wielder great power, yet also the potential to cause great devastation. After much consideration, Leanne made the decision to undergo its trial. It was her way of trying to bring an end to the Empire's conflicts. In addition, as long as she held this power for her own, the noble families would never be able to abuse it. The witch was surprised by Leanne's answer, but recognized her determination and spirit by offering to help her. Thus the door opened, and the Lance Maiden and the witch proceeded into the trial. 5 years later, the demise of the Emperor would lead to the beginning of the largest scale civil war history had ever seen, the War of the Lions. Looks like everyone took on their trials with fewer people than Rean. On July 1st, 1178 at 5:45 a.m., a great catastrophe struck North Ambria, then the Principality in North Zemuria. A giant white pillar suddenly appeared in the outskirts of its capital, Haliask. The pillar was composed of not of snow nor ice, but salt. As such, it was named the Salt Pillar. A storm of salt spread outward from it, solidifying everything it touched. Despite only lasting a few days, its effects were felt for months afterwards, as citizens fled south seeking refuge. In the immediate aftermath of the catastrophe, the number of victims equaled about 1/8 of the country's population. That number rose to nearly a third of the population with the inclusion of victims in the days that followed. After the incident, the Septine Church led evacuation procedures, provided aid, and employed hundreds from the Bracer Guild to help. In a short time, relief forces from Erebonia, Ramiferia, Jurai, Liberal, and the Republic of Calvert had assembled in North Ambria. Meanwhile, the country's leader, Prince Balman, who had fled to a neighboring country at the start of the catastrophe, had returned to rebuild the government. However, he was met with violence from the enraged citizens who were leaving them behind in their hour of need. In the end, he was forcibly removed from power, and North Ambria became a democracy. The remnants of its former armed forces reformed as Northern Jaegers. Erebonia, their neighbor to the south, had contradictory views on the new autonomous state. On one hand, it refused to recognize the legitimacy of the new democratic government. On the other hand, it eagerly welcomed the Northern Jaegers. North Ambria's extreme poverty and focus on bringing in foreign currency meant that the former soldiers were easily manipulated by the promise of imperial coin. The Jaeger Corps went around the empire, hiring themselves out to the nobility and newly developing businesses who were fighting over septium and natural resources. They turned out to be the perfect pawns for Erebonia to use in its proxy wars and internal struggles. Despite this, the massive amounts of mirror that flowed in from the empire helped save North Ambria from its dire straits. 27 years after the catastrophe of the Salt Pail, the Empire annexed North Ambria as reparations for the Northern Jaegers' actions in the Erebonian Civil War. As before, Erebonia's vast resources ended up lifting the former independent state out of its chronic poverty. Shortly after the disaster, the Septine Church restricted access to the northern half of the country. After annexation, however, the Imperial Army's Intelligence Division began investigating the Pale, which had been classified as an otherworldly singularity. One of the Intelligence Division's collaborators has been able to confirm that members of the Church's Dominion retrieved the Salt Pale and brought it back to Arteria. It's rumored, however, that a piece of the Pale still remains out in sight in North Ambria. Valerie, what are you doing here? Is there a problem? No, I was just wondering why you weren't studying for the exams. Everyone else has gone together and started studying their weakest subjects. Must I do the same thing as everyone else? Besides, exams are for measuring your average knowledge. If you cram the day before, it's not a proper measurement. Well, I suppose, but I thought that Valerie had opened up a little since she first got here. But I guess she's still just as aloof as ever. Oh yeah, you joined the Modern Music Club, right? How's that been going? Well, that reaction says it all. Are you having trouble with the club? Let's say I am. What does it matter to you? I'd appreciate if you quit prying into my personal matters. I've got nothing to talk with you about. So that's so. As a teacher, I can't let whatever problem she's having continue. I'll talk to the other members of her club first, Pablo and Gustav. Okay, where are they? Okay, how do I talk to Gustav about triggering the other event? Hey Gustav, can we talk? Instructor Rean, what is it? I wanted to ask you about Valerie. Did something happen in the Modern Music Club? Well, it seems Pablo and Valerie got into a fight over something. Valerie hasn't shown up to practice since then. Somehow I knew this would happen eventually. Huh? Why's that? Well, Valerie's the kind of person who shies away from the spotlight. Not because of her personality, but more because of her upbringing. Oh? Valerie's always seemed to carry herself like a noble. Sometimes she almost reminds me of Musse and Tatiana. Yeah, I got that same impression from her. Nobles are extremely rare in North Ambria these days. I wonder if she grew up being resented by those around her. It's possible, but this is all just speculation. Good point. I need to ask her about it directly. Thank you, Gustav. That was a big help. Oh, don't mention it. I didn't actually do much. Okay, now I see what's going on. I should go talk with Pablo next. Cafeteria. Hey, Pablo. Hey, Instructor Rean, can I help you with something? I wanted to ask you about Valerie. I heard you got into a big fight with her. Aye, we argument got way out of hand. We haven't talked since. How did it start? I asked her to be on vocals. Vocals? Aye, she never sings in front of people, but I've heard her sing to herself a few times, and her voice is just too good. So I asked her to take over on vocals, even just once, you know? She wasn't having it, though. I got a wee bit pissed, and next thing you know, we were going at it. I see. Come to think of it, I've heard her singing too. I clearly remember she had a nice voice. I know she doesn't want to be in the spotlight, but I just think it'd be a big waste of talent if she didn't. I know I went overboard myself, though. Problem is, I cannot figure out how to make things right. Yeah, I'm going to talk with her one more time. Can you wait a little longer? Instructor Rean, cheers, I appreciate it. I think I've got a better grasp on the situation now. I should probably go talk with Valerie again. Instructor Schwarzer, are you still here? Yeah, I talked with Pablo and Gustav. I think you should find a way to make up with Pablo. You're such a busybody. Well, if it were just a normal argument, I wouldn't step in like this. But it seems like there's something you've been bottling up. Bottling up? Yeah, I'm sure you'll deny it, but you want to be on Will calls more than anyone, don't you? That's not true. Well, sorry if I am being a busybody, but you're from a noble family in North Ambria, right? So if I am, it's just that if that were the case, I can imagine the circumstances you must have endured. Well, you're not wrong there. Back when North Ambria was still a principality, the nobility system was still in place. After the North Ambrian disaster, the government was remade and the nobility abolished, though they kept their wealth to some extent. In a poor country like ours, children born to wealth and comfort were, of course, victims of envy and spite. Valerie. And on top of that, I have another secret. The truth is, my family is related to the former Grand Prince of North Ambria, Balmund. The former Grand Prince? I'm sure you know the story. You're a history teacher, after all. Grand Prince Balmund, the traitorous ruler who fled North Ambria during the disaster 28 years ago. Apparently, any family with connections to him is a family of devils, mine included. How could they say such a thing? I came here intending to keep that a secret, but I don't care anymore. Anyway, it's probably best you not get involved with a devil. So please, Instructor, just leave it be. I can't do that. Sniffle sob. Valerie, how come you didn't tell me sooner? It's just not fair for someone who's done nothing wrong to be treated like that. Hey, how long were you two here? We were here pretty much the whole time, sorry. Pablo and I were just worried, though. This school's just full of busybodies. But fine, I'll let you two know as well. Nothing good will come from associating with me, so... Don't be daft. Huh? Yeah, hearing that stuff even made me angry. Family of devils, none of that matters in the world of rock. Aye, come and think of it, it might even come in handy. Rock's all about the soul, your upbringing doesn't have anything to do with it. Hey, here Valerie, it's about time you quit bottling it all up. Take those emotions and light a fire to them. Let them blow right up. He means they want to play some rock music with you now. Alright then, I'll go get the key to the art room. You get me, Instructor Rean. Hey, where are you? And also, you may want to study together with them. How did it end up like this? No use whining about it. Yeah, you just gotta do it. I know, screw it. Is it voiced? Come on, you can't just tell us she has a good voice but not actually voice out the entire song. That was brilliant. Your music was almost entrancing. I'd say it was pretty darn close to professional sounding.
Flattery won't get you anywhere.
No need to be so shy. That was a square thousand times better than any lyrics that fall out my gob. So from now on, you'll be focusing on vocals. Is that alright with you, Valerie?
Fine, whatever.
Guess it's too late for me to back out anymore anyway. The secret's out now. Does that mean you'll agree to it? Yeah, I give up. Yes, get in there. I get a feeling things are only gonna get more fun from here on. Rock in a hard place completed. I somehow got money for that. I'm guessing maybe it's a down payment for his salary. I don't know. Is Aurelia actually keeping track of me just giving them simple advice like this too? I have to admit, this is a big relief. Yeah, I can finally focus on studying for the test. Hey, I can help you guys study if you want. Oh, wait a minute, I just realized that means these two aren't going to be studying with their friends. Is that going to affect anything? That'd be a massive help, actually. It sure would. Thanks, Valerie. The Modern Music Club's finally made up. So what should we go over first? I think the both of us are good when it comes to sciences. Yeah, it'd probably be best to focus on economics and history. Our study sessions should still work properly, right? I'm on the second floor, or no, that's the... Can't tell which floor I'm in anymore. Yeah, that was the floor. So everything here's still fine? Yeah, I guess their events can still be triggered, but they'll probably be modified so that Gustav won't be able to help out here. Oh well. What are you up to? Equipment check. Now to report to Mr. Celestin. Oh, Instructor Rean, good day to you. Hello, Frankie. You seem like you've been working hard lately. Though, I guess when you're Celestin's assistant, every day's like that, huh? Yeah, each and every day ends with me reflecting on my work. But lately I feel I've gotten a little used to it. I even have more energy than I used to. I see. If he's able to keep up with Celestin, he's definitely got some talent. Well, I'm glad to hear things are going well. Just keep at it and don't give up. Understood, thank you. The students all seem to be working hard to prepare for their first exams. Though perhaps that's a matter of course. This is our chance to show how much they've learned since enrolling here. Which makes it my duty to bring out the best in all of them. Speaking as an instructor, I can't thank you enough for that. I heard you offer them studying tips and even bring them late night snacks. That is correct. I don't mean to overstep my bounds, of course, but I can't help but see my young master in every last one of them. I can relate. Sometimes I look at my class and feel those same little pangs of nostalgia. So before the exams kick up tomorrow, allow me to thank you for everything you've done for them, Celestin. Certainly, it's a true privilege. Do we have any new stuff here yet? Alright, Daisy, what's up? Hey, remember our little promise? The one we made for after the midterms are over? Oof, cannot believe I almost forgot about a good session on the juice. Mind handling the particulars while I work out the schedule? Certainly. How's my sister doing? From what I hear, she's really trying her best. It seems like she's trying to come up with a new menu. You sure she's gonna manage? I imagine she'll be knackered since she helps at home as well. She doesn't even realize how hard she's been working. Oh, she's so silly.
Alright there!
Okay, I've not missed any limited items so far.
Hope to see you again! Alright there!
Oh, she does sell evergreens and such. Good. Really want to be able to make Abyss Shadow as well, but that's super expensive. Blonde hair Aurelia. Let's get that. Wait, why does Aurelia have it? Is she gonna join permanently or something? I'm thinking about gathering around the forest graduates that are here for a cheeky bevy once the tests are done with. Ideally, you'd be able to make it as well, but you're always so busy. Sorry, I'll probably have tons of grading to do. Can I get a rain check? No bother, I'll just gather up anyone that can make it. Your main priority is the test, so I'll let you focus on that. I'm kind of nervous about this since even the first game we didn't manage to beat... Rean did not manage to beat everyone even with his studying. Oh, Altina and Louise, are you guys studying here? Yes. We're reviewing music for the art class exam. If you think about it, the exam results are kind of like our boss battles. No matter how well we do, we'll always fall short. It feels like there will be seems there will be a listening portion of the test. We're studying for it outside so we don't bother anyone. Oh, I see. Art is quite a difficult subject. Factual questions are fine, but I can't handle subjective ones. Hey, I actually have a harder time remembering all the dates and names for the factual questions. Let's help each other out, Ellie. Yes, please. It's true that questions that require opinions or emotion are difficult for Altina. Maybe I can help her and Louise with their studying. I don't know a whole lot about music myself, but maybe there's something I can do to help you two study. Will this also, since I have to bond with them, will this affect their individual rankings of my students? Really? Yes, please. I have to pick my favorite students, but I'm not going to keep Altina's because she's already at 4 stars with Rean. So both of you are worried about the listening part of the exam. Oh my, yes, it's mostly that we have no idea what sorts of questions we'll have to answer for it. So we've been listening to a bunch of different kinds of pieces. I don't have any trouble naming the chords, tempos, or names of the pieces, but in the class we've been asked for our impressions of songs. And when that happens, I'm completely lost, so I've been asking Louise what her impressions of the songs are. I don't think that's really the spirit of the question. And I do feel a bit guilty about it. But wait, I'm sure the principal will have already predicted this. Meaning, in other words, there's a good chance she will she's certain questions that memorization will not help you answer. Because of that, I think it would be best for you to sharpen your creative sensibilities, Altina. Oh, I see. How'd I do that? Well, listening to a bunch of different pieces and coming up with impressions is a good start. But you can't just get Louise's answers. You need to think about how they make you feel, Altina. I'll join you, so maybe if we keep at it, it'll help you out in the exam. I suppose it's worth a try. Hey, that's our instructor Rean for you. Three of them listen to many songs and discuss each of their impressions. Shoot, if this is gonna be a sore spot for Altina, I don't know, maybe I should stick with her. She might need to help more. That wasn't even much bonding either. I feel like Allie's expression softened up a little. We should be ready for the test now. Maybe I should just trust Louise to be able to help Altina no matter who I pick. Thank you for your help, I learned quite a bit. All I can do now is try my best. Arg. Always having to choose between my students, huh? Okay, let's non-commit to Musse since I feel like she won't need any help at all. Are you two studying physics? Looks like you're making good progress. Well, actually, we're having a hard time concentrating. But I'm sure that if you helped us, we could make even more progress. I almost thought you were being serious there for a second. Hey, Musse never changes. They both get good grades, so I shouldn't have to worry about them. But that's still no reason for me not to help out. Well, if it won't distract you, I can help. T, then it's decided. Thank you. Judging from your notes, you probably don't even need my help. Yeah, figured. Though, Tatiana, you may have made a few careless mistakes. Sorry. I wasn't criticizing you. We're both still having some trouble with one of the more recent concepts. The variables that affect trajectory. Rotation and air resistance cause trajectories to deviate. Instructor Michael is already teaching you that, huh? Yes, but we're having a hard time grasping it. Especially the precession effect. Will you be able to teach us about it? That's actually hard for me too. When a rotating object, in this case a bullet, is hit with an external force, such as air resistance, its trajectory will deviate. A bullet rotating to the right will sway right, and a bullet rotating to the left will sway left. At the very least, just remember that. To be honest, that's the extent of my knowledge on the subject. I see. That's still helpful. It's hard for me to answer questions outside my specialty. It might be better to ask Instructor Michael. Does that mean you're abandoning us? Will you be able to help us a little more? I feel like you're really good at breaking things down to make them easier to learn. Well, when you put it that way, I can't refuse. He even looks cute when he's struggling. After that, Rean taught the two physics using the knowledge he'd gained from experience. What's your dialogue for afterwards? My memorizing all these formulas is so tiresome. It's times like these I could really do with indulging a nice guilty pleasure. Yeah, I agree, but there haven't been any good ones published lately. Oh, I just can't wait until Miss Dorothy's next book. Hey, neither can I. Is it really an appropriate topic for the middle of a study session? Come to think of it, I've been so busy studying that I haven't read much lately. I haven't been able to go into the bookstore either. I wish these exams were over already. You know you really truly enjoy something when you can read it over and over again and never lose the magic. Hey, I think I know exactly what I'm going to do once I get back to my room. Okay, I think Juna was having a little more trouble than everyone else. Why is all this Empire history stuff so tricky for me? Do you get any of this, Leo? I can help you with crossbow stuff. I'm all set when it comes to stuff about the ocean, but anything else I'm a lost cause. I guess it's important to know history so we can learn from it. But do we really gotta memorize all these names and dates? Okay, I feel like my head's about to explode. Yeah, this sounds like an event I should definitely take if I wanted to raise the class average. Seems like they're cramming for their history exams. They look pretty focused. Maybe I can help them out a bit. Hey Juna, Leonora, sounds like you two might be having some trouble. Instructor Rean. Well, you're kind of the root of all our problems right now. I guess that's one way to put it. As my way of apologizing, how about I help you study? For real? Oh man, that'd be great. This part we covered in class just recently. The War of the Lions began in 947. Can you name the 3 events that led directly to it? Let's see. The War of the Lions was a battle over succession. So the first reason was the death of Emperor Vallius V. Yeah, that's exactly right. Next is the assassination of Prince Manfred, right? He was supposed to be emperor. But it isn't just those 2 things? Well, to be fair, the third reason's a little tricky. But it's also the most direct cause of the war. All the remaining princes trying to claim the throne at once. Everything that's in red is probably a clue to how you should answer choices later on, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I get it. The first one to try to seize the throne was the 4th Prince Orthros. Then, it was 2 years after the war began that Prince Dracos raised an army to put an end to it. And when you explain it in steps like that, it's easier to understand. Yeah, there's a lot to remember, but I feel like it's better organized in my head now. Glad to help. No matter how the question is actually written, as long as you understand the sequence of events, you should be able to answer. I hate to admit it, but he's kind of reliable. Why don't you just appreciate him for what he is? Huh? I hope I was able to help you guys even a little. Oh, and while I'm here, let me go over the different battlefields with you. After that, Rean continued to explain various points of the War of the Lions in a simple and accessible way. Thanks a lot, Instructor Rean. That was a big help. We're gonna stay here and study a bit longer. We'll pay you back for your help by getting good grades on the test. Are there new books? They would actually tell me if there were new ones, right? I think these are old. MASH probably doesn't need too much help either, but might as well give him a shot. Ash, Stark, don't you need to study? What do you think we're doing? What, you think we're doing this just for fun? We're actually using chess pieces to review military science. Oh, I see. Reviewing military science, both of them scored high in that class. That being said, maybe I'll join them since I have the chance. This reminds me of when I was in school. Would it be alright if I join you? Sure, that'd be great. Sounds like a good way to kill time at least. Well, maybe you should join Kurt's chess club. If you have any questions, I'm all ears. In that case, can you analyze the field exercise question? Let's see what the topic is. Using a mid-sized troop to support in siege. And how to move them efficiently. Okay, then let's start the lecture. You're really getting into this, Instructor Rean. Don't try to make this into another class. I can't help it, so please bear with me. So here's the real question. Let's look at this before our main troops hit the enemy's main troops. It's a siege battle, so we need to hit the enemy from behind. You can have your support troop either deploy right behind the enemy or have them take a long detour to hit them from afar. From those 2 options, which would you choose? I get them from behind, obviously. The longer you take, the more likely you are to get caught. Well, that is true. What do you think, Stark? Let's see. I think both answers are wrong. Damn, I didn't even notice. It wouldn't make sense for the support troop to engage before the main troops do. There we are, now you got it. A trick question? That was dirty. Dirty-ass trick question. So I think the support troops should make their move while the main troops are engaged. And once they are, the support troop attacks from right behind the enemy. Yes, precisely. Having your support troops take a long detour is a waste of time if the main forces are already engaged. So yeah, that should be all for this question. I hope it was helpful. There were 2 red points to remember. It was really helpful. That was a great lesson. Alright, bring on the next question. I'll get it right this time. Alright, here's another. Rean came up with a few more questions. After he answered, he would analyze their choices. Orlando's on my ass because my grades in combat tactics took a little dive. And maybe I'll get Vander to teach me chess. That'll help my tactics, yeah? The life of a soldier sure is profound. As the branch campus's resident logistics officer, I need to study harder. Like Ash said, it might not be a bad idea to start playing chess. Or Vantage Masters. I can only challenge Stark right now. I'm pretty sure I beat you. Looks like you 2 are reviewing political ethics. Indeed, unlike the other subjects, this one incorporates current events. So we thought we could study by reviewing said events. Unfortunately, all these new terms are rather confusing. I've just spent the whole time asking Kurt questions. Sorry for keeping you from your own studying. Not at all, explaining these concepts to you is an excellent method of review for me. So please don't worry yourself. You really are a great guy. Huh. Kurt seems to be doing fine, but I might still be able to help out here. Should I help these two study? Is it alright if I join you guys? I'd like to try a quick economics quiz on you two. I see, sounds interesting. Sure, alright. Alright, let's start with you, Kurt. What is it called when the market as a whole is down but when stock is high? I believe that's isolated gain. Good job, that's correct. Your turn, Wayne. What is it called when the market rises and falls drastically in a short time period? Violent waves? Oh, almost there, but not quite. The term is violent fluctuations, right? Exactly. I see. Next question, either of you can answer this. What's the term for financial gain generated through ownership of an asset? Wait, did the question stump even you, Kurt? I've narrowed it down to 2 candidates. Do you happen to know the answer, Wayne? I'm not completely sure, but term did pop in my head. Is it capital gain? Capital gain is generated by selling assets such as stocks for more than you bought them for. Mixing those two up is a pretty common mistake. In that case, is it income gain, perhaps? Exactly, that was a tough one, but you got it. No, it's simply process of elimination this time. Even so, good job, Kurt. We're both from Heimdallr, but you're so much better at this than me. Oh, you're from the capital too, Wayne? Yeah, though technically there was a short bit when I was elsewhere. But anyway, I'm thankful Kurt's here. I pale in comparison to you where studies are practical skills. But someday I'll definitely catch up to you. I'm flattered to hear you say so, however, I'll continue to hone my skills as well. They've got quite the spirited relationship. After that, a few more quiz questions were given out to help Kurt and Wayne study. At the very least, I want to be above average. Not to be too greedy, but I want to be in the top 50. So, since we don't have club activities, I intended to devote all my time to studying. I didn't expect both campuses to administer the same tests. In any case, thank you for quizzing us. It served as a good refresher. I'll give it my all just as I always have. Good to hear it. I'm rooting for you, Kurt. Oh, Instructor Rean. You all studying for the test together? Yes, we're going over things subject by subject and teaching each other the ones we know best. My specialty is the medical field. Leave survival skills to me. Sounds like you guys got a good system going on here. Yeah, but Gustav's not here because of that quest. I hope that doesn't screw me over. Well, if that was everything on the exams, then yes, but we're having some trouble with history. Well, I guess that's where I come in. Let me take a look. Yay, thank you. Guess it never hurts to ask. Give them advice on history. AP increased by 2. That's the standard amount, so you should be fine. It would really suck if they punished you for doing the quest too early. But they do that sometimes, so I would probably not be too surprised. Disappointed but not surprised, kind of thing. Are you two studying orbital technology? For now, yes. I'm going to teach Tita about military science, and she's teaching me about orbits. Well, I see. Well, it doesn't sound like there's much I can help with here. Actually, regarding usage of orbital AEDs, if you don't mind, can we get a brief overview? I had some questions about its use outside of just basic operation. Oh yeah, I was curious about that too. Well, that I can help with. Leave it to me. Yay, thank you. My thanks. AP increased by 2 again. Are you helping these two study, Toa? Yep, sure am. These two were both a little worried about questions on politics. Not to mention all the recent changes in the political landscape. The dissolution of the House of Representatives and the House of Peers, the establishment of the Central Diet, the 8 Metropolis Plan. It all sounds like some foreign language. I feel your pain. If you have the time, will you mind helping us out, Rean? There's only so much I can cover on my own. Yeah, sure thing. Political ethics. Hey, Rean. Oh, hello, Randy. Are you teaching military studies? Yeah, well, Sydney was about to head out. Jeez, he's still got potential. Kid shouldn't give up so easily. I was planning on studying some more tonight. I just figured I should relax for a bit first. He's lying. Randy, would it be alright if I helped too? We may need to get a little rep of Sydney. Oh yeah, sounds great to me. Why are these things always... Rean and Randy gave the students advice on military studies. Sadly, the other member could not be here. AP increased by 2. Yeah, Pablo, I think. I get the main campus is making us do this, but man, these practice questions are crazy. Didn't they take it a little easier on you back when you were a student? Well, not really. They drilled the same stuff into our heads back then, too. That said, I took a look at the questions you wrote. They're pretty well thought out. I heard the instructors of the main campus were impressed, too. Well, it's all just stuff I took from personal experience, you know? But hey, you're no slouch yourself. I saw those combat studies questions of yours. Pretty good if I do say so myself. Huh, thank you. Maybe I have my own instructor to thank. Oh, the Purple Lightning Lady, right? She's pretty impressive, too. Sometimes I wish I were more like her, able to overcome anything and everything that comes her way. Randy. Anyhow, I can't wait to have these tests over and done with so I can get my drink on. You should join me again, if you got time, that is. That sounds fun. Well, I'll let you know. Oh, why do these tests have to exist? A little worried that I can't help out, that some of the students have been misplaced and stuff. You two are good. Ooh, using the old noggin really burns up carbs. Oh, I know. Why don't I treat everyone to some bee larva rice later tonight? It's really interesting how everyone has their own specialties. Even their weapons show up how unique they really are. Thanks so much, Instructor Rean. You helped a lot. It's really fun getting to study with someone else. Cedric's explanation is very easy to understand, unlike Professor Schmidt. Yeah, Professor Schmidt is the type to throw you into the middle of something. Rean, do you see this week's Imperial Chronicle? The article about the Naval Fortress or the one about the main campus's field exercises? The latter. They were able to bring the incident in North Ambria to a close, but... yeah, the article made it sound like things got ugly. It was light on the details though, so it's hard to say for sure. I guess that's true. More than anything, we should be focusing on the exams. They start tomorrow, after all. Rean, make sure you answer any questions your students might have. What kind of teacher would I be if I didn't? I want to finish my test and drink some tea. And of course eat some confectionaries. I planted the seedlings that you gave me during the field exercises. I was able to harvest them, so let me share with you. Potato and tomatoes. Oh, these look good. Thank you, this is really helpful. Hey, you're welcome. And the things they teach at the branch campus are some real high-level stuff. I'll just need to do my best. Creating clean water during disaster. 1 prepared container pack bomb of cloth. 2 pack charcoal, sand, pebbles in that order. 3 pour water from above and wait. This is like something they teach actual soldiers on the front line. I'll need to make sure everyone memorizes this. I didn't get AP for that one? Weird. I wonder if we can get anyone to bail us out for the exam, huh? That would not be allowed. That would be illegal. Unless it's some kind of last-minute study session. There we are. Oh, Principal Le Guin, you wear glasses? That's a little surprising. You do too. Well, actually, for some reason my vision is unusually keen. I can see everything in excruciating detail, from up close to a great distance away. Sometimes I find myself getting annoyed by specks of dust falling in the air. So to combat this issue, I commissioned these glasses to suppress my vision. That's somehow not surprising at all. All that's left to do for the exams tomorrow is to leave them to the students. Is there something you'd like to ask me about Ouroboros, perhaps? Yeah, so you knew. What are your thoughts about the report that the Jaegers and Ouroboros have pulled out of Erebonia? That seems unlikely. We still don't know what they were doing there. Like, testing ions, that's about it. That's all we got, but there's gotta be something bigger. I certainly recommend taking it with a grain of salt. The Ion's the Black Workshop. There are far too many unseen forces at work here, too many unanswered questions. Yeah, I agree. Regarding the maiden, we reached an answer of sorts. For better or worse. Huh? She definitely called upon her full power when fighting the two of us. But what if there was something more to her? Something beyond the power of a human? If she's out of the picture for good, then that's fine. Otherwise, we need to be ready for her. And by we, I mean all of you. Understood. I'll definitely keep that in mind. She gets a costume, but how do I don't think I can even modify her equipment right now. That Alheim woman from the main campus seems quite talented. We worked together to create the art portion of the midterms. Instructor Mary, I remember thinking the same thing out when I was a student in her classes. I remember she had some issues with her family. I wonder how that turned out. You mean the talks of an arranged marriage? She mentioned it, but it seems she has feelings for one of her coworkers now. She seems so earnest, so I couldn't help but give her advice on the matter. It must be Instructor Makarov. Thinking back, there did seem to be something between those two. I don't want to imagine what the advice the principal gave, though. I eagerly await seeing our fledglings go for the test tomorrow. Try to help them out while you still can. We can't fall behind the main campus. Yeah, that's the plan. Or check every room again. Exams, it seems like everyone is under quite a lot of stress. You as well, Rean. It appears you're being pulled in a number of different directions. Well, that's being an instructor for you. Exams, huh? Boy, am I glad I'm not a student anymore. If you want, I could try to help you study. Just be warned, orbital science is the only thing I'm good at, so buyer beware. And the jury's kinda out on that one too. I tried borrowing one of Tita's books and got dizzy trying to read it. Mint, were you a second year at the main campus until like 6 months ago? Heh, maybe? I swear. I'm not very smart when it comes to, well, anything that isn't orbital science. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten everything I've learned as a first year. Same. The ion. What's he gonna do with these ion parts? Create his own? Are these remnants of the white ion? I was able to get a decent sample. This sample is better than the ones from Summerland and Crossbell, but it will still take quite some time for me to analyze it. Yeah, Arian had killed it in one clean stroke, rather than burn it, rather than trying to melt it like McBurn did, and just shooting in the middle of the chest like Rutger did. Is that so? I mean, his abilities were intense. Spatial annihilation, moving the railway cannons, and that instant death move that I was unfortunate enough to see. It's safe to say that it's the culmination of the Society's Gordy's series. The last I heard, its development stalled out 2 years ago, but we may need to revise our understanding. In any event, your Tachi has been repaired. Check it to make sure it's as sharp as you remember. Okay, thank you, Professor. Seriously, a Zamurian ore is no longer good enough. To be honest, I thought it was going to be the end of me. I was somehow able to endure it with that mana blade thing. It was probably some mana feedback that went for the Divine Knight, but it's not reliable. Don't expect it to happen again. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, thank you very much. Can't believe it's already this late, huh? The sky looks kind of strange. I'll need to prep for the exam before I head back today. Once I'm done with everything I need to do, I'll head back to the faculty lounge. The Black Workshop. It seems they're finally starting to show their hand. Yeah, there's still so many things we don't know, though. It seems they possess at least 2 Divine Knight-like machines. And the Society has at least 1 as well. George has already spoken to me of this matter. However, as of this moment, I have nothing to tell you. This is simply something you'll have to figure out yourself. Ashen Awakener. Understood, I'll keep that in mind. Makarov mentioned some nonsense about some test or another. I already wrote the problem, so he should be able to take care of the rest. I'll bet he made it so hard that no student could ever solve it. I can see it already, him and Instructor Makarov bickering over the exam. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this Let's Play of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.